If you're sitting there right now wondering whether housing prices are about to drop, you're asking yourself the wrong question. And I don't mean slightly wrong, I mean expensively wrong. Because while everyone's debating whether or not housing prices will go up or if the market will go down, they're missing what's actually driving it. Let me show you what I mean. The Financial Post, have a look, published this article. It outlines 9 reasons why housing in Canada could stall, maybe even soften. And listen, on paper, it reads really smart. They talk about how affordability is stretched. Mortgage renewals are coming up. The economy at times is a bit shaky. And in some markets, supply is actually increasing. And if you read that and you thought, well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I can see these things adding up to prices dipping a little bit, then you wouldn't be wrong. You're just you're just not looking at the full picture because the entire argument that this article makes depends on one really quiet but important assumption, and that's the assumption that all markets behave the same, and they don't. Not even close. So let's start with supply. One of the big arguments here is that more homes are coming to the market. And if you're in places like Toronto or Vancouver, then yeah, there's condos everywhere, everywhere. But here in and around St. John's, show me, seriously, show me like where the oversupply is. Because what actually happened here is literally the exact opposite. So after the oil crash in like 2012, 2013, 2014, construction didn't slow down. It fell off of a cliff. It basically died. And here's the part that nobody talks about. It never recovered. We didn't get back to normal rates of building. We're still down to this day. Now, layer in on top of that, the same time that we stopped building houses, people didn't stop coming. Population growth increased. We got more and more people. So let's just think about that for a second. More people, fewer homes being built. So let's all sit around and have a national conversation about oversupply. What? So, all right, people will say, well, okay, fair, but affordability is stretched. And yeah, that's true. Affordability is stretched. But here's where people misunderstand what that means. Affordability doesn't make demand disappear. People don't sit around and just be like, you know what? I guess I just won't live anywhere. I don't need to live anywhere anymore. So it doesn't change demand, it changes their behavior. They adjust, they buy smaller, they live together, they wait longer before they buy. But they don't vanish. Demand doesn't disappear, it gets compressed. More attention. And okay, so there's mortgage pressure. That's true. There's a lot of mortgage renewals scheduled to come up across Canada. Accurate, very real. And some people are going to feel that pressure. But pressure from that type of situation only turns into price drops if there's inventory that can absorb it. If there's a pile of homes sitting there unsold, then yeah, prices will move. That's supply and demand. But if there isn't any inventory, then what you get is more tension, not collapse. So now obviously we've got a problem. And it's that the story we're being told doesn't match the reality that we're living at all. Let me show you what actually happened. Have a look at this. This is housing starts in our local market over time. And you can see right here how they literally drop after 2014. And this isn't a dip. This is a structural break. This is population growth up, consistently up, really up recently. And so now we've got fewer homes being built, more people who need them. And while everyone is now debating whether prices will go up or down, we quietly built a systemic shortage, and not a small one, a big one. And this is where everything gets flipped, because the risk isn't that prices might go down. That's the conversation everyone is having. The risk is that you sit on the sidelines waiting for that to happen. And it doesn't. Because a market like this doesn't need hype for prices to rise. It doesn't need your excitement. It doesn't even need your confidence. It needs one thing: scarcity. And we have that in spades. So, what do you do with this? Well, if you're a buyer, stop trying to time the market based on national headlines. Those headlines aren't written for your market. They're written for a completely different game. And if you're a seller, this isn't about catching the peak and capitalizing then. It's about understanding your leverage, because supply imbalance doesn't create perfect timing. It creates really valuable opportunity. And when you see these articles talking about housing slowing down, don't ignore them. They're valuable. Read them, but don't blindly follow them either. Because if you're making decisions based on national narratives and national headlines in a hyper local Newfoundland and Labrador market, you're playing the wrong game. And in real estate, playing the wrong game is expensive.